Good evening, friends. Yet another case that has puzzled people. In fact, a lot of you viewers wanted me to do this session about Raj Kiran and what happened to this actor, who made a very huge impact with the film Karz, directed by Subhash Ghai, a man who faded into oblivion and was assumed to be dead. But he was never dead. In fact, he was in a mental asylum in Atlanta, USA. Thus, a man with a heart of gold disappeared from Tinseltown. Let us see what his story was all about. Born in 1949, Raj Kiran came from a Sindhi family in Mumbai, and he was later married to a lady called Khatija Nachia Rupa and had a daughter named Rishika Mehtani. He had two brothers, Govind Mehtani in the USA and Ajit Mehtani. His debut movie was Kagaz Ki Naav in 1975, where his co-star was Sarika. He was applauded for his acting in leading roles in films like not only Kagaz Ki Naav, Shiksha in 79, Maan Abhiman in 1980, Ek Naya Rishta in 1988, and he was appreciated for his roles in films like Karz, which was in 80, Basera in 81, Arth in 1982, and Raj Tilak, etc. He was often typecast as a romantic, kind-hearted hero. Let's just look at a few pictures of his as we speak. He was one of the this actor had very few friends, and among them, one of them was Rishi Kapoor, who later was the one who discovered where this man had actually disappeared to. His wife was one second. I'll just take out the pictures. Please bear with me. And one second, as I share these pictures, and then I'll continue with the story. That is his wife and his daughter. I'll just show you some more pictures. That's his wife and his daughter in the US. This was in Arth, where he was with Shabana Azmi, a film that made him extremely popular. One second. This was a movie by Mohesh Bhatt, in which he came as Shabana Azmi's friend who gave her mental support to carry on her life, and it made a huge impact on the audience. So returning back to our story, I just wanted to show you photos because some of you would not be able to understand who I'm speaking about. Then, yeah, so continuing this, he reached the crest of his career in the 80s with around 40 films under his belt, which were commercially successful and received critical acclaim. But as fate would have it, Raj Kiran's charm diminished. At the start of 1990, his Bollywood career was slowing down. So he made his television debut in TV series like Reporter in 1994. He also did small roles in TV serials like Aakhe Kaun and Aahat. When your career sags, it affects your married life as well. This happens to most people. Raj Kiran failed to strike a balance in his professional and personal life, and his relationship with his wife, Rupa, turned sour. And slowly he started going into depression. There was also an incident, people say, in Puttaparthi near Bangalore, where Raj Kiran had tried to scale a wall. He had turned violent and was accused to have attempted to assassinate Sai Baba. His brothers intervened, and Raj Kiran was admitted to Baikula Mental Asylum in Mumbai, which specialized in treating those suffering from mental disorders. Later, he was taken to Atlanta by his brother Govind Mehtani and admitted into a mental asylum for further treatment. Thus we came to know this. Also, we came to know only after Rishi Kapoor went searching for him. But what makes us wonder is that how did this gentle human being end up in bipolar hospital? Was he taking drugs that made his condition worse? Was someone tampering with his life as they did with Sushant's life? By now, we realize there is a pattern, and we wonder whether there was someone actually playing with his life. There could have been many forces, several forces at work to destroy a shining star. Industry people who were looking for him with roles disappeared when they heard that he was mentally unstable. The only roles that he was getting were minor, unimportant ones, and this made his condition worse. And perhaps, unlike others, his threshold of suffering was lower, and he gave in quickly to depression. As you remember, people like Chandrachud, escaped. Shiny, of course, was framed in a case. So looks like Raj Kiran, was made mental, like Praveen Babi, who was one of the best actresses in her time. Everyone who knew Raj Kiran described him as a polite and cultured actor. The late actor Rishi Kapoor, who had often said that he had shared some of the best times with him, said that he was very well read and clever with his repartees. I used to enjoy our sparring sessions when we worked together, he said. Though he was much younger to me, we always got along very well. I missed him. At some point, Raj Kiran stopped getting good offers, and the only roles, as we said, he was getting were insignificant ones. He began getting depressed, and this naturally affected his married life. This was a time when he suddenly went missing from Bollywood. He was the best when he played the role of a supportive friend, Shabana Azmi, in Mahesh Bhatt's Arth. The song Tum Itna Jo Muskura Rahe Ho became a huge hit. Mahesh Bhatt, the director, said, I had worked with Raj Kiran in Arth, and at that time, he had never given me a reason to believe that he would ever suffer from such an organic problem. But then years later, we heard about bizarre incidents that happened in Bangalore. He'd gone to Puttaparthi, and there he apparently tried to scale a wall and got violent and was accused to have attempted to assassinate Sai Baba. He was brought back to Mumbai, he said, where he was kept in bipolar asylum. Mahesh Bhatt said, I'd gone to meet him there. Sometime later, after that, I heard his brother took him to USA. Now I hear that he is in Atlanta and again in an asylum. I had experienced Praveen going through these breakdowns, and it got worse with each breakdown. It hurts when we see someone being reduced to such a human wreck. You actually mourn at your helplessness. In Praveen Babi's case, there's much more to it because Praveen Babi was having an affair with Mahesh Bhatt, and also she was taking drugs. So I don't know in Raj Kiran's case whether he was being given drugs. Somehow, wherever Mahesh gets involved, Mahesh Bhatt gets involved with some actor, the end seems to be almost always tragic. Here, we don't know. Subhash Kai said, I always feel sad about Raj Kiran. He was a thorough gentleman as a newcomer in Kars. But I guess after Kars, he got too much of media hype and didn't get the success he expected. It made him disturbed apart from his personal life problems. I don't know thereafter. Everyone from Mithun Chakravarti to Shekhar Kapoor had only good words to say about him. You remember in our session yesterday, this was the same thing that people said about Chandrachud. Same. These are all decent people and very sensitive, well-behaved people like Sushant Singh. It was then, when he was in such a condition, that his brother Govind Mehtani in USA helped him and his family to settle down in USA, where he could have worked as a taxi driver for some time. It is what Deepthi Naval, his co-star, had mentioned in one of her Facebook posts. So when people assumed that he had disappeared and probably died, he was in USA living as a recluse for many years. In 2011, Rishi Kapoor was the only person in Bollywood who really seemed to have cared for him. Everybody else had forgotten him. He decided to locate him and touch base with him. He contacted his brother. It is then that the truth was established, that he was in a mental asylum in Atlanta, USA, paying for his own treatment, as his family had abandoned him, and also working there. His wife had left him and got married, and his daughter had also got married and had a daughter called Mannat. In 2011, Raj Kiran's daughter Rishika issued a public statement negating the reports of Raj Kiran being found in Atlanta. She said she and her family had been looking for him with the assistance of New York police and private detectives for the last 8 years. But she changed her statement after Rishi Kapoor revealed what actually transpired. Rishika said that Raj Kiran was in the mental asylum for some time, but he was currently missing. Now, after the Rishi Kapoor's statement, the media continued to ask information about Raj from his wife and daughter in the USA. A couple of reporters posed as officers and conducted a professional survey at their home in US. They asked various questions and recorded it with hidden cameras. The next day, this video was aired on a local news channel. This upset the family of Raj, as they were also troubled by this issue. Tired about the media trial, Rishika asked people to back off and give some privacy to their family. Rishi Kapoor got a call saying that he should stop, speaking about Raj's welfare or thinking about. Rishi Kapoor told Deepthi about the call, and they decided that ethics demand that they respect the family's decision. Bollywood is a world where aspiring people from different parts of India come and chase their dreams. And some gain success and become popular, while others just fade away. If they become a success, then they set another set of forces to play, and they become like puppets in their hands, who then decide their fate. One more talented, kind, and polished actor who tasted success, depression, and then mental problems faded away from the scene, discarded by humanity and Bollywood. That's all for tonight, friends. Good night, and please continue to post your comments. Thank you.